Do you know this guy? This is David Letterman, America's late night TV show host for 33 years. This guy interviewed some greats like Tom Hanks, Madonna, President Barack Obama, One Direction, and even presidential hopeful Hillary Clinton and President Bill Clinton. Politicians trusted him, actors and actresses welcomed his encroachment, and comedians respected him. What he was famous for, more than his guests, were his top 10 lists. David Letterman was not my favorite host, but his top 10 lists were legendary, and I love them. He's no longer hosting, but in his honor, I want to use his comedic device to create my own top 10 list. I call it Mrs. Khan's Top 10 Reasons to Study History. Number 1, transferable skills. Besides excellent reading comprehension and becoming a proficient writer, you become skilled at evaluating and interpreting texts. Law schools, research facilities, and news publications are looking for those exact skills. History is relevant. Politics are bound to come up at the bar, club, or at parties. Why not be the smartest girl there who gives out accurate information than the guy who just reads the headlines? Number 3, studying history provides cultural awareness. We live in a global world. Doesn't matter if you live in the US, UK, or Sweden. Immigrants are everywhere. Studying history makes you more culturally sensitive, so you're not an obnoxious person. History allows us to learn from the past. We cannot keep making the same mistakes again and again. The consequences are too great to deal with. Number 5, history is interesting. The only field of study that has stories filled with drama, sex, and intrigue. Anne Boleyn was interesting. So was Noor Jahan. History makes us productive citizens. We still have a lot of wrongs we must right. Many amendments to be added to our Constitution. The Founding Fathers, Martin Luther King Jr., and Ron Paul all teach us to challenge the status quo. History helps us understand change. The housing market crash in 2007, or global warming, or other complicated political, social, or economic changes can become clear by studying this subject. History makes us wiser. Gandhi, the Dalai Lama, and Noam Chomsky were all students of history and eventually wrote to help us understand their achieved wisdoms. Number 9, history helps us understand the world. You cannot be considered an intelligent person if you don't know what's happening in the world. It costs some people the chance to become president and vice president. History tells us who we are. Every empire, nation, city-state is filled with good and bad. No people can claim innocence of a crime. Our own people, from our own perspective, empires, nations, or city-states, made great contributions, and that is where we must derive our pride from. But at the same time, our people inflicted horrors. From that, we must gain perspective and humility. We were created into nations and tribes so we could get to know one another. This is our test on earth, and we cannot do it alone. We need our social studies teachers. Woohoo!